So, a couple days ago, I was fired from my job, and I've kind of been, I don't know, kind of not unaffected by it, because obviously, well, I don't have an income or anything anymore, but doesn't seem to bother me as much as I thought it would. You know, I won't get into the details on what happened, but yeah, it's more to the point of, you know, it was a job that I hated, and obviously I got fired because various reasons, but you know, there was an element of not being liked by certain higher ups or management, and yeah, I don't really care that I'm fired, even though obviously I don't have an income anymore, and I'm not really too sure what I'm going to do. Obviously I'm looking for other jobs, but you know, if anything, I feel happy that I don't have to work at this place anymore. And I feel like, I don't know, it's strange. Like, I've never felt like this, if that makes sense, of not having a job and not knowing what I'm going to do. But it's freeing in a strange way, and I mean, maybe in a few months, if I can't find a job or anything, maybe I'll be regretting this, but it doesn't really bother me in any way, because this is a place I hated that, to be completely honest, higher ups, they did not like me, because, well, let's just say I spoke my voice, and they did not like that, that I had an opinion on certain stupid actions that they would take and try and enforce, and I believe that was the main reason I was fired. But yeah, and you know, I got fired, and I had a day when I got suspended, and I thought, well, why don't they just fire me? Because it's pretty obvious that they want to just fire me. And yeah, they obviously didn't, and I had to wait a couple days until I did get fired, when I went in for a meeting and stuff. But I just didn't care. I already knew the result was coming, and I just did not care. And it's just, I don't really know what point I'm trying to get, but I think it's, you know, the level of, if you hate what you do to a point where you're going in constantly feeling miserable, constantly hating the fact that you have to go in, you barely have any friends there, and even if you do have a couple people that you get along with and you enjoy their company, you know, your work actively goes to the point so you don't work with them, because of how petty they are, that you actually have a friend there. Just, you know, just leave. There's no point in staying. And yeah, it might be crazy because, you know, what am I going to do? I need a job, I need money, I need this, I need that, whatever. But at the same time, this level of freeness and happiness that you get from just, you know, I mean, I know I'll end up finding another job eventually. I've already been looking, and, you know, I've already got some calls and stuff coming in to sort something. And if anything, from what I understand, it seems like a better job. And I feel like I'd gotten to a point where I'd gotten so hateful with this job and hating it so much that would all be the only thing I'd go on about. But then at the same time, I'm incredibly lazy, it seems. And this is something I already kind of know, and I try and, you know, push myself out of that, but maybe not as much as I should. You know, that's just something I've got to work on, I guess. And hopefully I get better at it. I like to think I do, or have at least. But yeah, at the end of the day, if you're doing something that you hate and you're doing it every single day and you're just doing it so you can get a little bit of money, so you can pay your bills and this and that, and by the end of it you've got barely any money left, but you've got just enough left to, I don't know, buy yourself a new book or something, you know, because, you know, the book is only £10, or maybe it's on sale in a shop and it's only £5 or whatever, and that's the only, and, you know, you're doing that a month. It's like, what's the point, you know? Just leave and try and find something better. You probably will find something better, or at least something that gives you more money, even if you don't particularly like it still. At least you're getting more money, so you can actually live a little bit. But yeah, it's a weird sense of freedom that you feel. And, you know, obviously, I wouldn't say I necessarily have no one to say, don't worry, it will be okay, it'll get sorted, etc. But, you know, for anyone who doesn't, even if you do have someone like, obviously, myself, you know, it's still one of those things where you're like, well, is everything gonna be okay? I don't know. And you have a few days of, what am I gonna do? Especially if, obviously, if you're a man, you have people to look after. That's something that we worry about. But yeah, I just want to say, you know, if you got to this bit, I know it's not exactly long, but everything will be okay. Don't worry about it if you get fired for doing something stupid, or even in my case personally, I believe I was completely justified in my actions, and then I ended up getting fired. But obviously there's more elements that go into it. But if you're at a job that you hate, even if you don't get fired, if you're at a job that you hate, that is just dragging you down, it's dead end, you know, there's nowhere to go, and the only joy you get is talking about how much you hate it, just leave. You know, try and find something else and just quit. You know, quit at, you know, do it when you've just gotten paid, quit then, and, you know, so, you know, you've got all the money, you know, you'll get your holiday pay come in when that happens at the end of that month, whatever holiday you've got left, or anything that you happen to be working, and just quit. Apply for anything that seems interested to you, and just hope that something gets back to you. The more you apply, you'll get something, especially if it's something you like, or, you know, try and get a passion for something. Obviously, that's not necessarily what I'm doing, but, you know, trying is better than not trying. And just remember, everything will be okay. At the end of the day, yeah, you might have a day of, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? But after that, after you spend a night sitting there staring at the ceiling, wondering what will happen, just remember, everything will be okay. Don't worry about it. You'll be fine. You know, the next day is still going to come. The sun's still going to rise. You're still going to get up, you know, and you'll have ample time to look and find something. So don't worry about it. You'll be okay. Just, you know, stick to yourself. Try and find something. Just walked into a spider web, if you're wondering what just happened. I suppose, I mean, look where I am. What do you expect is going to happen? But yeah, try and stick to your guns. Stay true to yourself. And if you hate it to the level that I hate it, which was, you know, there wasn't a day that went by where I wasn't complaining about something, just cut it off, because eventually you'll get fired. And especially if it's how my work was, where, you know, I even heard and got confirmation that, oh, they hate you, they want any excuse to get rid of you. So, you know, it's stuff like that will drag you down even more, and, you know, you don't deserve it. So just quit. You know, you'll be okay. You'll find something better. And, you know, you can use that for anything really when it comes to, you know, life. You know, whether that be jobs, relationship, you know, family dramas, you know, wanting a house, whatever it happens to be. Just stay true to yourself and, you know, look after yourself. And if you're doing something that you hate more than anything, it's not healthy. And, you know, eventually you'll end up getting fired because, you know, whether the company hates you or you end up doing something that gets you fired. And at that point, you may as well quit and, you know, keep more brain cells. Yeah. Wow, isn't that lovely? That is another thing which I appreciate, which you should do, is, you know, if you quit, come to a nice little forest area like this. Just walk around, you know. I've done it a good few times since I got fired. It's good. It's good for the health of all aspects, you know, whether that be physical or mental or whatever. You know, just getting out in the trees. Yeah, you might get some creepy crawlies crawl on you, or webs in your hair or anything, but no, it's good. It feels natural, you know, and it's a good place to think as well, which I feel like lots of people don't do anymore, which you should. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling. But yeah, if you're not enjoying your work and you hate it, just quit, man. Just quit. Find something better, you know, and you'll be okay. Just remember that. You'll be okay. That's all I've got to say. Goodbye for now.